Dear friends, and all the members of the Indian Chess Society, I was very happy recently to see a clarion call come in for unity, and the fact that it's been supported widely throughout the country by our youngsters who want the Indian Chess Society to be unified as one. I and a lot of my friends, colleagues, maybe most of you out there have the same feeling. And over the last 4 to 5 months, we have worked hard in trying to achieve this. With the support of a lot of well-meaning friends on both sides, we have made some progress and were actually on the brink when things unfortunately fell through. I'm still confident that all the good that was done has not been undone and things will fall in place again. However, it will need a concerted effort. Concerted effort, of course, from us, but concerted effort from all of you. Everyone concerned needs to have the will to change and come together. Only then will we succeed. The challenge that we have, in my mind, is that there are some individuals, and I'll not mince words, I feel individuals who are evil, who are going to any lengths to stop this process of unification. I don't think it's prudent to name anyone, but I would like to mention certain personalities who I feel need to undergo a sea change if we are to unite. We have had election officers, a person who continues to disqualify candidates for frivolous reasons, and I believe with selfish interest. We've had constitutional changes brought in. Think of that, the constitution being changed without information or the consent of a majority of members, that too on a meeting done on a virtual platform, that too in a meeting where people were muted and 4 or 5 people thought that it was up to them to take the baton of the ICS and say, hey, this is what the constitution says from tomorrow. The buck does not stop there. They then went on the next day to implement the constitution and declare the elections with the new constitution. No question of registering the constitution, no questions about trying to get it recognized in its final format by all of you members. We want one election for sure, but we have an election process that you've seen just being completed, where we've had selection rather than election. And we've had 9 people who have been selected, but there's not one of you who have cast a vote. All of these people have been selected. And I stress on the word selected because they have been cherry-picked for posts, rung personally, and people have made sure that these people, there are not other individuals who apply for these posts. We need to join hands, and the minimum basic requirement is that people do not oppose the process of unification even if they feel they cannot promote it. Let us think once as to what needs to be done, what are the prerequisites. I think court cases are the major deterrent. They need to be withdrawn first. We cannot be fighting legal battles with each other and spending Indian Chess Society money and then talk about unity. The outgoing president of one ICS fraction has ignored pleas from multiple people on his side, on our side, multiple people, and has never agreed to withdraw the cases. He has the blessings of a handful of people, but these handful of people are powerful and include the election officer who continues with supporting the cases, supporting divisivity, supporting the fact that we are never going to be one. Please raise your voice if you want there to be one ICS. We need these legal cases to be withdrawn. We need these people out of the ICS if we are to ever be one. I strongly feel that we need the accounts of all NAPCONs from before to be cleared and presented before we become unified as one ICS. Members should insist, they should demand, that's a basic right, that NAPCON accounts are completed in a transparent manner. The Permanent Secretary of the NCCP should try and support unification rather than joining hands with divisive forces and making desperate efforts to increase the rift. The reason we have to have NAPCON Kolkata at such a late notice, in spite of the turbulence that's happening in my city, is that in spite of our best efforts and multiple people, again from both sides, trying to join hands, the Coimbatore NAPCON, being held under the auspices of the National College of Chest Physicians, decided to go ahead initially with a select few from one of the bodies who were promoting divisiveness, and then decided to call both bodies of the ICS to do separate AGMs at the conference. Tell me, my friends, if that is not promoting divisiveness, what is? The specialty of pulmonology today is at the crossroads. On one side, subspecialties in respiratory medicine are booming, and the importance of our specialty is globally skyrocketing. There are so many areas in which you can excel in respiratory medicine today. On the other hand, the specialty is being undermined in our country. There's been the removal of respiratory medicine from the undergraduate curriculum, and more importantly, on the anvil apparently is a proposed removal of MD respiratory medicine, and that too at short notice, maybe almost immediately. The fabric of the specialty will fall apart if this happened. If MD respiratory medicine got de-recognized overnight, what happens to the people who are just completing their MD? What happens to the requirement of pulmonologists in large numbers across the country? Do you think just changing the name from MD to DM is going to make any improvement in the training? What about faculty? Who's going to teach these guys? What are we thinking? How are we going to join hands with the government in trying to make sure that changes that happen in a rational manner, and the importance of our specialty does not get undermined, we don't get belittled? Please, all my friends in the ICS, try and join hands in enforcing the withdrawal of cases, cleaning up the NAPCON accounts from before, isolating people who are visibly opposing unity. If all of you, and I mean all of you, have no problems, of course we will have one ICS, one election, one NAPCON from 2025. Let us make sure that we join hands, ensuring that our specialty maintains its identity, maintains its glory, and keeps going up like the rest of the globe is as far as pulmonology is concerned. I hope to hear from you. I hope to have suggestions from you about how we unite, but more importantly, we make sure that the sanctity of respiratory medicine as a specialty, the efforts our juniors have done in completing their post-graduation, is never undermined going forward. Thank you very much.